Hey guys, I'm Deanna, and I am the owner slash operator of the Fiery Whisk Bakery, which is run right here out of my home kitchen. I had my kitchen FDA approved, so I can legally sell my baked goods here in North Carolina. And I'm here today to bake some Reese's brownies. Funny little story is I had posted a picture of a Reese's filled brownie cake that I had made a while back, and I had posted it on Instagram. Well, one of my regular baking customers saw it, and she just had to have some Reese's brownies. So I made her a batch of Reese's brownies the other day, and I have to taste everything that I sell, because if something is wrong with it, obviously I have to make another batch. So I cut off like a little piece of the corner and I tasted it, and it was so good. So I let my husband have a nibble off this little sample, and today he asked me if I would make another batch for us. So I said, you know what, of course. So here I am, and I decided I would film myself making said brownies. I will not bore you with 30 to 40 minutes worth of me talking about how to bake brownies, but I will go through all the steps, and when I edit my video, I'll speed it up at certain points that are unnecessary. So anyway, let's get started. Oh, but before I get started, I wanted to tell you guys about a new baking project that I just started on Facebook. It's called the COVID-19 Baking Project. So if you are a baker or are interested in learning about baking, go over to Facebook and join the group. And we're posting like old family baking recipes or just family favorites for everybody to try out. Since we can't be together right now, this is a way for us to be able to be apart yet be together. Okay, so let's get started. So the recipe calls for 3/4 cup of sugar and a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. And no, I don't have it memorized. And yes, I have the recipe sitting right here. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna cream the sugar with the eggs, okay? So here goes our 3/4 cup of white sugar and 1/4 cup brown sugar. Let me move my recipe over here a little bit so that I don't have to be out of the camera for you. And then we are going to cream in 2 eggs, which I've already cracked. So you're not gonna be able to hear me, so here we go. We'll get that all mixed up together really good. And after we do that, what we're gonna do is we are going to melt, I think it's a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips and 5 tablespoons of butter. My original recipe said you can use margarine, but I don't use margarine anymore. I only use butter. So that looks good. I'm gonna turn it off and I'm gonna walk over to the microwave. I'm gonna put this on for 30 seconds. Then I'm gonna stir it. Chances are I'll have to put it on for about another 20 seconds. But the thing about chocolate chips is they keep their shape even when they're melted. So you have to keep a really close eye and like continually stir your chocolate chips to see if they're melted when you're melting them in the microwave. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, 30 seconds down. I'm gonna stir and see where we are. I'll bring it over here so you can see it. See how they still look like they're not melted? But yet, when we stir, you'll see that they are starting to melt. But like I said earlier, we're gonna give it like another 20 seconds. "20 seconds more. That should be good. I'm gonna start this up again. This was our 2 sugars and our 2 eggs. Let me check on those chips. I bet you they're done. Check it out. All melted. All right. You want to let it cool for a few seconds because if you put this in the egg mixture and it's too hot, it'll scramble the eggs. Although it's not overly hot, but I like to just stir it and give it a few seconds before I put it in there. All right, so I'm gonna just drizzle it in slowly. No scrambled eggs. I'm gonna make sure I scrape it real good so I can get all that chocolatey goodness in the mixture. Yum. I don't like wasting anything. Okay, so we're gonna let that mix for just a moment. Looking good. So these brownies are like it's hard to explain. They're not a cake, but they're not a dense brownie either, but they're a good combination of the two. So it's like a dense brownie cake. Let's go with that. Okay, so now we did that, and we are going to add in, you can add regular vanilla. I like to use this bourbon vanilla by Bite Club. You can order these online. They have a website, and you can find them on Instagram too. So I like to use the bourbon vanilla, but you know what else you could use? You could actually use a coffee extract if you want to, and I've done that before, and coffee and chocolate go really well together. Now you might be saying, okay, wait a minute. I thought you were filming this in North Carolina. Well, I am, but I'm not from here. I'm from New Jersey, which is why you picked up on the coffee and the chocolate. All right, putting in a little bourbon vanilla. All right, let's set that aside and let it mix for just a few seconds. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add our flour and a pinch of salt, which I already put in with the flour. All right, so I'm gonna turn it down. Actually, it is turned down, so just add it slow, real slow, maybe a little slower. Every last bit, because Deanna doesn't waste food. All right, let's let that mix. And while that's mixing, it doesn't take long. It mixes together really quickly. While that is mixing, I'm gonna move my pan. I'm using an 8x8 square pan. I'm gonna move it over here. And I wanna show you this piece of paper right here. This is parchment paper. And back over the holiday season, it was right before Thanksgiving, Miss Febb's Parchment sent me a free container box, cardboard envelope, I guess you could say, of parchment sheets. There's 250 to a box, I believe. And I have to tell you, this is the best invention since sliced bread. It is amazing. These sheets are amazing. You just pull one out of the envelope, put it on your cookie sheet or put it in your pan, and there's no cleanup afterwards and nothing sticks to it. I have to tell you, it's definitely worth it. You can find them on Instagram too. And I believe there's a link right in their bio where you can click if you wanted to order some of the baking sheets. And they're not terribly expensive. I think they were like $12 or $13. Not bad. Okay, so let me grab a spatula. That I forgot to grab before we got started. And let's see. See? There's our mixture. I'm gonna just scrape it a little bit and make sure it's all incorporated. But it's very loose. See that? Not your typical brownie mixture, which is why we get our fudgy cake brownies. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in. The only thing is you gotta watch, because you don't want the parchment paper to get up under the brownie mixture. So this takes a little minute, a little bit of skill. Trust me, I learned the hard way. All right, now you know I'm gonna scrape the container, because why? Deanna doesn't waste. Look, I'm not the fastest baker in the world. You gotta bear with me. I'm not the fastest, but I do bake with love, which I'm convinced is why things taste so good. Because if you just slap something together, people can tell. But when you bake with love, they can tell that too. Baking is just soothing to me. It just brings me peace and like soothes my soul. So a lot of times if I'm having a rough day, I'll come to the kitchen and I'll bake. And then when my family gets tired of eating it, or when, you know, if there's too much, I give it away. All right, so I know this is kind of a weird like setup that I have going on here. So it's hard for you to see things. So I'm gonna hold this up. See that? Here we go. I'm gonna bake them. And you know what? I have my oven already preheated to 350. And these brownies in my oven, I have an electric oven, but I prefer a gas oven. I've had both, but it's okay. You know, you adapt, you learn. So anyway, in my oven, these bake for 55 minutes. I would say for you, 350, and check them after like 45 minutes. If they're wiggly, pop them back in for, you know, another 10 minutes, even 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just depends how wiggly they are. And you just gotta keep a close eye. And when they stop wiggling, or, you know, when you can insert a knife into the center of the brownie and the knife comes back out without any gooiness on it, they're done. My oven, 55 minutes. I'm gonna pop these in, and I'm gonna let them cool after 55 minutes. So chances are when we come back, I may not have this sunlight behind me. And then what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to make the Reese's. Oh, you know what? The Reese's goes on now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause you for a minute. I'm gonna get my Reese's stuff together. We're gonna come back, make the Reese's, then pop the brownie in the oven. Okay, I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. I can't believe I almost forgot the Reese's. What was I thinking? Who knows? Anyway, here's what we got. I'm gonna hold it up for you. And yes, I'm mixing it on a plate and not in a bowl. Why, you may ask? First of all, because the peanut butter doesn't stick to the plate like it does in a bowl. I hate having to scrub peanut butter out of a bowl. So anyway, I've got it on a plate. So I've got two massive spoonfuls of peanut butter. And then I've got, I think it was a half a cup. Nope, a fourth of a cup, a heaping fourth of a cup of powdered sugar. Okay, so I'm gonna set this down here and I'm gonna mix. I'm gonna mix it all together. And then when I'm done mixing it, I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of hard to mix because you really have to work the powdered sugar into the peanut butter. Boy, if I had one of those cameras right now like they have on the Food Network where you could zoom in to see what I'm doing. Let's see what I can do. No, nah, not happening. Let me just mix it together. But I will show you what it looks like when I'm done so you have an idea. Got to maneuver the plate a little bit so you don't make a mess. But trust me, it's just so much easier because for whatever reason, the peanut butter won't stick to this coated plate. All right, so I'm almost done. Okay, so I had a little excess powdered sugar, so I'm gonna flip that off the plate so you can see what's going on. All right, see that now? So the peanut butter and the powdered sugar are mixed together. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use my hands for this. I'm going to just scoop the peanut butter off the spoon onto the plate. It's a little messy, but you know what? It's worth it. You'll thank me. All right, and then I'm gonna take the peanut butter and put it right on top of the brownies, okay? And I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. But in like little piles, little mounds, you're gonna put them right on top. And I like to have a lot because to me, there's nothing better than chocolate peanut butter. Unless maybe it's coffee and chocolate. But I don't know. No, I think I like peanut butter better. And I do love coffee. Let me just say that. All right, I'm going to rinse my hands real quick because they're a hot mess. I hope you guys are enjoying me making these brownies. I hope I'm not boring you. Maybe next time I'll pour myself a glass of wine and we can like have a drink together while we bake. Okay, so let me show you this. Look, all right, you see? So we're gonna pop that right in the oven and then I promise, that's it now. I'm gonna bake them and then I'll come back and we'll do the icing and cut into these babies. All right, I'll see you later. Well, our brownies baked for 55 minutes and are done and a little bit cool. So let me lift it up and show it to you. You ready? Because I'm not touching the phone. It's like in place and I don't want to mess it up. Okay. Ready? Here it comes. Check them out. See all that peanut butter goodness on top? Yeah. Now we're going to ice them. So what I did was I took half a cup of milk chocolate chips, which, by the way, the brownies were also made with milk chocolate chips. I don't think I mentioned that. So anyway, I took half a cup of milk chocolate chips with 1 tablespoon of butter, and I melted them together in the microwave. And I did that before I came back, so you wouldn't have to watch me wait in front of the microwave for like 50 seconds. So I did the same thing though. I did 30 seconds and then actually it was less than 50 seconds. I did 30 seconds and then I put them back in for like 10 more seconds. Just to make sure they were nice and melty. And the texture of this, I'll show it to you, but it's not like smooth and liquidy like silk. It's almost like a melted fudge. And that is what I'm spreading on the top of the brownies right now. And as soon as I'm done, because, you know, everything has to be just right, I'll show it to you. But anyway, I learned something from Sunny Anderson on the Food Network. She always says, crust to crust is a must. And you know what? There's truth to that. But not just for sandwiches, it's for anything. So it applies to our brownie icing today. Okay, done. And if you want like a lot of icing, you can double it. You could do a cup to 2 tablespoons of butter. A cup of chips, 2 tablespoons of butter. All right, ready? Let's do it again. Ready? Check it out. All right, I'll cut into one. I'll even cut into one for you, even though it's not like cool yet. Okay, let me grab a knife. I'm back. I got a green one. Okay, and I'll cut into it so that I could show you the texture that I was trying to desperately explain to you earlier. The fudgy cake texture that we talked about. All right, ready? Oh my God, these are insane. But I have to say, yeah, they're good warm. You know, brownies are good warm. But after they like cool, they just kind of like settle and get even fudgier. All right, ready? 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 Check this out. Fudgy goodness. Okay, wait. Look at that. See that peanut butter on top? Maybe, wait. If I move, maybe it'll focus on it. Yeah, no, that didn't work. But can you see that? You know what? I took an amazing picture of the ones I made for my client yesterday. And I'll put that as the thumbnail for the video so that you guys can really see the fudgy texture goodness. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed our time here together because to be honest with you, I really enjoyed making this video and I feel like we're friends. So I will be back and we'll do more videos together. So you guys have a fantastic day. This is definitely something you can just whip up. You probably have all the ingredients already in your pantry. There's no like crazy ingredients. Okay, you don't have bourbon vanilla extract. Use vanilla. You don't have coffee extract. That's okay. As all you have is chocolate extract or almond extract, just use it. You know what I mean? Get creative. And try it out. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. But I can pretty much guarantee that you won't be disappointed, especially if you like fudgy, peanut buttery, chocolatey, rich brownies. You guys have a fantastic day. I will be back. Take care.